Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube was pretty well known and pretty popular. A lot of people I knew play it and loved it. But me, honestly, I was a hater. I just didn't like Kirby Air Ride for the GameCube. Something about it just didn't stick with me. So when Nintendo announced Kirby Air Riders, I was super excited. Hopefully we can see a Kirby Air Ride that's actually good, am I right? Well, the demo, to be honest, didn't really do its job. I wasn't too keen of the game until it came out. I didn't even play it for the first 2 days because I completely forgot that I pre-ordered it and it was rotting at Best Buy until they sent me an email telling me to pick it up. So I went over there, picked it up, and realized, wow, I was missing a lot. This game is so good. Again, as someone who wasn't a fan of the GameCube one, I was having a blast with this one. This might be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it's definitely better than the other kart racers on the Switch too. So let's get into why Kirby Air Riders is amazing. Starting off, the controls are pretty much the same as the original game. You go forward automatically, and the A button does pretty much everything. It drifts, it uses items, and basically every other function. These controls are pretty good. It's a lot different than Mario Kart, which I play most of the time. But it's nice to see a change in pace in a racing game, which, by the way, Kirby Air Riders isn't really much of a racing game, it's kinda like a battle-ish game. There's a lot of beating up other racers, and as we'll get to later, there's a whole mode dedicated to it, which is the most popular mode in the game. Unfortunately, the racing mode just doesn't have a lot to it, which isn't a bad thing because the other modes definitely shine more. There's a handful of tracks you can race on. All of them look absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just look at this. This looks absolutely amazing. I can't believe that they made a game look this beautiful on the Switch too. The courses themselves are really fun to drive on, and they can get pretty challenging, especially if you haven't mastered the drift by now. Oh yeah, and I'll tell you now, if you don't know how to use the controls, good luck trying to get anywhere near the top spots. There were times where I'd just fall behind because I'd miss a drift. The computer players are not forgiving in this game. Speaking of players, there are so many playable characters in this game, especially compared to the original Kirby Air Ride. In the original, there was what? Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede, I think? There were only like 3 or 4. In this game, there's a huge amount. I haven't even unlocked all of them, and the roster looks pretty full. My favorite is obviously Rick the Hamster, but I also like the Chef guy too. Both of them are really cool. And each one has different stats also to mix up the gameplay style, which I really love. The copy abilities are also really good in this game. There's a handful, and a lot more than in the original game. I find them a lot better to use. All of the copy abilities from the original game return. The only copy abilities that didn't return from the original Kirby Air Ride are Wing and Tornado. Pretty strange how they didn't return, but it's whatever, since they were pretty mediocre copy abilities in the original game. They were so forgettable that it took people a few days to realize that they were absent, which is pretty funny. There's a massive amount of copy abilities in this game, my favorite being Wheel. It really mixes up the gameplay. There's also grind rails like in Mario Kart World, except they function more like cutscenes since you can't really do anything but just switch grind rails. The main racing mode is just decent. It doesn't do anything extraordinary, and if you want to play an actual racing game, just play Mario Kart World. Now let's get the top ride mode out of the way before we get any further, because this mode is a pretty bare bones mode. It's literally just a normal racing mode, but you see it at a top down angle. It's extremely easy and it's pretty much impossible to lose. There is not much to this. It's still a good mode and I'm happy that it returned from the original game, but I can't see anyone playing this for more than 5 minutes unless you want to unlock everything. It's still a really fun mode to play though. Now let's get into the real juice, which is City Trial. City Trial is one of the best game modes in any video game. It is just absolutely amazing. You're thrown into a floating island known as Skya, and you can play with up to 8 players locally and 16 players online. You have to collect parts or upgrades for your machine and do a challenge at the end where you have to show off your skills. This mode is so awesome. Obliterating people to steal their upgrades, completing events to be able to get more, or just roaming around is so much fun. Heck, you can even hop off your vehicle and just walk around on your own. You can't really do anything, but it's still pretty cool. You can also swap vehicles if you don't like the one that you're currently on, which is a nice touch. City Trial is just such a great game mode. I seriously can't think of any negatives about this mode. Some power-ups can make it a bit chaotic, but it's still really fun, especially with friends and online. Speaking of online, the online mode is pretty good. Sometimes I don't get enough people in my lobbies, but it's usually consistent with about 4 real players. Too bad Switch Online sucks though. I get disconnected a lot. But again, a decent and thriving online community. There's a lot of customization in this game. There's so many cards and characters, and not to mention that you can create your own custom cards. And you can even purchase other players' carts, which is really cool. It builds a nice community around the game. You can earn money by people buying your carts, and then make your own vehicles and sell them. I wish more games did stuff like this. Kirby Air Riders also has a story mode. I'm not going to talk much about this mode, but it's basically just playing a bunch of different challenges and then beating the boss. I don't want to spoil anything for the people who haven't played it, so don't worry about being spoiled. But this mode is super fun. Seriously, play it. Kirby Air Riders is one of those games that you have to play to understand. This game is just so great. It really doesn't seem like that good of a game when you just look at footage, but actually playing it, it's a whole different story. Even if you've played the original, throw everything you knew about the original out the window, because I hated the original and I still love this game. Maybe it's because it's on the Switch 2 that I like it more, I don't really know. But something about this game really clicked for me, and I can see myself playing this game for years to come. Is it my favorite video game of all time? No, not really. But is it still a 10 out of 10 video game? Definitely. Seriously, if you buy Switch 2, ignore Mario Kart World and get Kirby Air Riders. It is one of the best racing games I've ever played, probably second to Jack X. But it's one of the best Nintendo games that has been created in at least the past decade. It is so hard to nitpick and find negatives about this game. This video is going to be short just because I don't want to ramble on praising this game, and I can't find any negatives to talk about. So here's your message: get Kirby Air Riders. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you enjoyed, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Comment if you've bought Kirby Air Riders and what you think of it, and if you haven't got it, if you really want it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.